y'all got to stop messing with them 20 somethings that don't know they ass from their mouth, and and all they want is money. That's a young woman's game. Older women, we 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 something different. But y'all listen, hang on to them young girls. Here, keep doing it.
Well, I've been in a lot of
Absolutely.
conversations in a space of where women would say, if he had, I think it's a matter of having all of the intangibles and all this other stuff, but it doesn't necessarily measure up financially. Would she give him a shot or consider him as somebody they would date? And the women would more often say no.
So I want to point out something. The question literally says, are men less respected today because women are more independent? And it doesn't specify what they don't respect. It doesn't it gives zero parameters. Like it doesn't give any qualifiers at all. And I want people to notice what by men was brought up, and it was automatically money. I mean, they tell on themselves every single time. It is something that men care about. And men, and I said this last night, men who tell women their experiences, it's unfair unless you got a coochie and unless you date men. If you don't have a coochie and you don't date men, you cannot tell a woman what her experience is, what her preferences are, and what her standards are. And I am so sorry. I really apologize to you men who keep getting those women that do not respect you as a man, but only respect you as your money, because you are more than your money. But I'm sorry that you keep getting women and you all keep finding those women that only value you for your money. That is not women in general. I do not come across many women like that. They do exist. I do nails for a living. I have come across women for the last 20 years. I have heard the stories. More often than not, these women still respect men, whether they be independent or not, because I can guarantee you, as many women that I have, because listen, my services cost a lot of money, a lot. And as many women as I come across that make a lot of money, they still respect men, period. So no, we do not respect you more just because we have to go to work. That's dumb. You all think that women are somehow in competition with you, and because we think we're better than you, we don't respect you. That is just not true about women in general who work, especially the women that make a lot of money. Y'all got to stop watching talk shows and TV shows and movies that keep telling y'all this. And also, y'all got to stop messing with them 20 somethings that don't know they ass from their mouth, and and all they want is money. That's a young woman's game. Older women, we 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 something different. But y'all listen, hang on to them young girls. Here, keep doing it.
Well,
I also
I
want to
don't
point
have
out
to
that
use
that says a
movie.
lot about the men who are attracting and only running into those type of women who are going after you for your money. How are you showing up in the world that that's how you continuously, or that's what you are attracting to you? You are what you attract. If you constantly go out and all you're doing is showing what you provide monetarily wise, then that's what you're going to attract to you, a woman who wants you for that. If you show
So
up differently, you'll receive a different result.
Well, I don't have to
I
use.
definitely mentioned a bunch of different attributes aside from money. Money is absolutely part of it, but there was plenty of other things that I presented aside from that. But the point is that women recognize this as utility, and if you don't provide utility, then you are not respected. This is a fact. This isn't something that we pulled out of thin air. This isn't something that I don't know who's dating 20-year-olds on the panel, but you should stop if that's the case. But I don't think it's the case. But what I'm saying is we've listened to grown men talk about this, not just on podcasts, definitely on plenty of podcasts where they will present money as a barrier to entry. We can't act like there's not some type of barrier when we're talking about money. That's just what it is. All these women that we see on here they keep talking about the $100,000 mark, and that's not just what I use. I also have many friends who are women who don't have any vested interest to lie to me. So I understand that, and I see it happen. And I talk to a lot of men who are in these relationships too. And maybe the women on the panel don't, but there's a very large portion of women who care way too much about utility. That's just what we've been reduced to. We've been objectified. Just like women feel like they've been objectified sexually, men have been objectified as utility. And you are only as good as what you can produce. And women are behaving as this is not the case, but it damn sure is. Otherwise, most of these men wouldn't be getting ignored in the first place. Most of them would be good fathers. Most of them would be good husbands. Most of them do care about women, but it doesn't matter. They get no action anyway. So women are saying this by their actions on a regular basis.
Yeah, and
I didn't
it's
disagree
not
with
just
that. I agreed with all of that. I included that. So I don't disagree with you, Trev. I just think that a broader conversation needs to be had because I don't think that most women don't respect men just because they have to go and work. But
Well, I
yet,
was
all of those other things happen.
I will say this though, Bo. I think it is kind of unfair to, especially to us on the fellas on the panel, right? Because we talked to plenty of women that have also came up on this panel, right? And like these are real people that we talk to. You know what I mean? Across all of us over the last 3 or 4 years, fellas, could we say we done probably talked to well over like damn near like at least 500 women, if not her. And what we've noticed is that if you start asking the questions 3 layers deep, it always comes back to money. Like we're not pulling this out our ass. It always comes back to money for the vast majority of them. When we start to ask, okay, so you know what I mean? Now, what we tend to notice is once it gets to money and we start to ask the questions about the money, then they clam up and oftentimes they try to be more aloof with it and be like, oh well, it kind of depends, or they try to dance around it after the fact. But it always comes down to money, and I'm sure that Trev, Bruiser, Marcus, and Jr. can all attest to this. That we talk to enough women to where we're really not just pulling it out our ass.
most
I know
definitely,
you're
and
not. But what's the
and
origin story?
I can attest, bro. Like even outside of the panel, I've had the luxury to be face to face, on calendar meetings and all that kind of shit. And I can tell you, it's most definitely about money. Any way you want it, you can try to get around it all you want. The respect, if you ain't got the money, man, that's the money is the new respect currency. And it just is. And I'm gonna just tell you like this: I didn't have to get it from TVs. I didn't have to get it from movies and none of that other shit. I don't witness stories. I done been part of conversations where marriages have fell apart because a woman elevated in her career and she became even more masculine and she started to earn more than a man and she didn't want to listen to him. These are this happens at a high rate, and actually, whenever a woman starts to out earn a man, the likelihood of divorce increases 2 times. This is a fact. This is a statistical fact. So there's a matter of lack of respect in that dynamic that arises whenever the salary levels differ in a way where where she's earning more. It just is. Um, and it happened. Not I wouldn't say it wasn't like this before because women weren't working, but at some point, whenever women were allowed to work, you start seeing a lack of respect whenever they start smelling themselves and be able to bring in their own paycheck. And then up until dating apps, we're starting to see a new currency, the height currency. We're starting to see a lack of respect for guys who are shorter than 6 feet tall. The more technology and the more restrictions that are lifted to allow a woman to exercise her preference at a way to where she can nitpick what she wants to choose and have a lack of respect for it, the more you're able to see this more evident. And it's just in our fucking faces every day. And there's no way you fucking can get around it. I don't know why we we making this spectacle of what's true and what guys are. Why there's a fucking male loneliness epidemic for a reason. There's so many factors that's causing it. Respect is most definitely one of them. So please, let's just stop the bullshit.